Hello and welcome to your news and features electronic magazine that centers on the different facets of motoring. Now in its 34th year, this is Motoring Today. On behalf of our dad, Mucho Gamboa, I'm Ray Louie Gamboa.
And I'm Susie Gamboa. Here are this week's features to watch out for.
On Motoring Forum, we shall have the government's plans and programs on transportation in the new normal. A road safety reminder on the Young Street Smarts portion centers on the proper use of headlights while driving at night. This week's Buying Chuper shall be about the importance of wearing a seatbelt while driving. The public service segment centers on riders who oppose the mandated barrier for motorcycle pillion rider. Showcase this week shall have the pickup from Maxis, the 2020 T60 4x4 automatic.
All these plus the latest news in transportation and traffic management, as well as developments in the automotive industry, are on this week's edition of Motoring Today. Join us.
Be part of the 2020-2021 Autofocus People's Choice Awards, the only nationwide poll to determine the country's most popular car brands and models. It's easy. Log on, then vote for as many as 5 different models that you believe should become the 2020-2021 Autofocus Automobile of the Year in separate standard and premium luxury categories. Vote every day until September 30, 2020. The Autofocus People's Choice Awards. Who will win? You choose, you decide. Vote now.
What do we go for? We go for experience. We go for excitement. We go for sport. We go for style. We go for fun. We go for the new Toyota Wigo. Live extra
with the new Mitsubishi Xpander Cross.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. Here now are the latest news and developments in the country's transportation and traffic management. There's a need to make public transport safer against the COVID-19 contagion. Authorities believe that adding one more layer of protection, a face shield for everyone taking public transport, will help.
Transport Secretary Arthur Tugade has issued a public appeal for all to comply with the new mandate for all to wear face shields as well as face masks when taking public transport beginning August 15. Secretary Tugade issued the appeal after seeing and hearing complaints posted or aired on social and broadcast media that requiring the wearing of face shields is another added burden for commuters and the general public already suffering difficulties under the COVID-19 pandemic. In a press statement, Tugade said the face shield should not be seen as an added expense and inconvenience, but as an additional layer of protection against the spread of the deadly virus. people began buying various kinds of face shields of various prices, ranging from a low of 30 pesos to as high as 500 pesos or more for those with more elaborate designs and using more expensive materials. The wearing of face shields in all modes of public transport is in addition to other stringent measures required by government. These include wearing of face masks, strict enforcement of the social or physical distancing measures, frequent hand washing or hand sanitizing.
Local government units in communities badly hit by COVID-19 are now also mandating the use of face shields. All medical experts agree that this will help, along with proper hand washing and proper physical distancing. Now the question is, are people in communication doing this properly? Private emission testing centers are out. Private motor vehicle inspection centers are in. At least they will be in service pretty soon, according to the DOTR and the LTO.
The DOTR and the LTO are fast-tracking the activation of private motor vehicle inspection centers, or PMVICs, that will certify compliance with emission standards as well as roadworthiness of vehicles up for registration. The DOTR said the sites and facilities of operators seeking to be authorized PMVICs are now being inspected to ensure compliance with requirements set by the PMVIC Authorization Committee. According to the DOTR, 125 PMVICs have been awarded to operators, but final inspections are being conducted to ensure these are ready for activation. Aside from equipment to conduct automated inspection of motor vehicles, the sites also need to have adequate connectivity with the LTO information technology system. The DOTR is targeting to activate 32 PMVICs by the last week of August, which will begin operations by September. The LTO said that it was also testing its IT system to ensure connectivity with activated PMVICs and ensure smooth and efficient transactions and a glitch-free vehicle registration process.
Many say PMVICs are well and good, as long as PMVICs carry that very important trait: integrity. The more of that out there, the better, at least to prevent a bottleneck in the process of registration. Angkas is back in the news, first with its IATF-approved shield design, and now with free rides and shields for healthcare workers.
When Metro Manila and nearby communities were again placed under modified enhanced community quarantine restrictions, public transport was again suspended, leaving many healthcare workers or HCWs and those working in essential services with few options to get from home to work and vice versa. Although so-called libreng sakay for frontliner workers initiatives continued or were resumed, and privately owned vehicles including motorcycles and pedal-powered bikes were allowed, many HCWs still face difficulties going to work. In stepped Angkas, the pioneer motorcycle ride-hailing app offered, and this was apparently accepted by the Department of Interior and Local Government and the National Task Force Against COVID-19. To have 1,000 of its partner riders provide transport for HCWs from 10 identified hospitals for the duration of the MECQ period. Angkas also donated 1,000 of its IATF-approved protective shields for use of HCWs who have motorcycles and use them to go to work. The IATF had earlier allowed tandem riding for all essential workers during the MECQ as long as they use the protective shields and comply with other safety protocols, such as wearing of helmets and face masks.
The donation and the free rides may not be all about altruism, but one cannot fault Angkas for wanting to resume motorcycle operations for its partner riders. One can also not fault how they're going about this, consulting experts on how to make tandem riding and motorcycle taxi operations as safe as possible in the COVID-19 pandemic. Those are the latest news in transportation and traffic management. Coming up next is Motoring Forum, brought to you by Suzuki Philippines. COVID-19 has not stopped government from implementing plans and programs to modernize transportation and to digitalize processes in regulating the transport sector. In fact, it may be the impetus for fast-tracking initiatives to modernize public transportation.
The COVID-19 pandemic locked down communities, shut down the economy, and for a good while, stopped government from implementing various programs and projects, including those related to transportation. But as authorities began easing community quarantine restrictions, reopening certain sectors of the economy, phasing in the resumption of various modes of public transport, it became clear that the government was taking advantage of the pandemic to implement programs and projects aimed at modernizing mass transport, solve perennial problems like traffic congestion, transform thoroughfares to incorporate commuter, pedestrian, and bike-friendly paths and passages. At a recent webinar hosted by the American Chamber of Commerce, DOTR officials discussed developments and updates on the modernization of transport in the new normal. The new normal is a world still having to deal with COVID-19. And the modernization of transportation in the new normal should take into consideration how to make all transport modes, buses, trains, shuttles, modern jeepneys, and any others to be allowed by authorities safe against the spread of the contagion. Protocols already being undertaken, regular and thorough sanitation or disinfection of transport modes, physical distancing on board vehicles, or use of barriers will form part of new normal public transportation, according to DOTR officials. Cashless payment of fare, the use of beep cards and the like will be encouraged. Use of non-motorized transport, like pedal-powered bikes and scooters, will also be encouraged. Other initiatives include the transformation of EDSA. These include the EDSA busway, setting aside the inner lane of EDSA for exclusive use of buses, with loading bays also in the middle of EDSA. The EDSA Greenways project, which seeks to build wide elevated walkways for pedestrians at 4 main junctions on EDSA linked to a rail transport station at Balintawak and Cubao, Guadalupe, and Taft Avenue. And installing exclusive lanes for bikes and e-scooters and other two-wheeled non-motorized vehicles. Digitalization of processes and transactions will form a huge part of the changes in transportation and even in processes and transactions at the LTO and its other line agencies. The PNR and the various LRT lines are also preparing for the new normal. According to the DOTR, the rail sector is even looking at the use of artificial intelligence to help with scanning and temperature profiling, contact tracing, detection of social distancing violations, face mask detection, and frequent contact surface analysis. Railways will also be a major part of transportation in other regions of the country. All these and other plans and programs in the pipeline are aligned with the objective to contain the spread of the virus, while guaranteeing the efficiency of transport services to the public, the DOTR said.
Safety in transportation has taken on a new aspect. Mass transport must not only be efficient, accessible, comfortable, convenient, and safe against accidents. It must also be safe against contagion. That's our Motoring Forum this week, brought to you by Suzuki Philippines.
What do we go for? We go for experience. We go for excitement. We go for sport. We go for style. We go for fun. We go for the new Toyota Wigo.
The Mitsubishi Mirage.
Drive your ambition. Mitsubishi Motors.
You are back with us here on Motoring Today, and in line with our lifelong commitment to promote road safety, here is this week's road safety tip brought to you by Toyota Motor Philippines.
If you are on a main road, make sure na ang headlights na iyong sasakyan ay naka-low beam sa tuwing meron kang makakasulubong na sasakyan. Your high beams can distract another driver. Kaya mas maganda kung ang iyong headlights ay naka-low beam upang malinaw na magkakitaan at hindi maaksidente.
Continuing with this week's edition of Motoring Today, let's now focus on proper driver's demeanor, especially for those driving PUVs. From Mitsubishi Motors Philippines, here is Flying Chopper this week.
Payong super lang kaibigan, ako si Alejandro Patusa, isang kapwa nyo super. Huwag kalimutang magsuot ng seatbelt sa tuwing kayo ay papasada.
Gawing prioridad ang kaligtasan habang namamasada sa pamamagitan ng pagsusuot ng seatbelt. Siguraduhin maayos at gumagana ang iyong seatbelt bago mamasada. Huwag mo rin kalimutang paalalahanan ang pasahero na nakaupo sa harap na magsuot ng seatbelt.
Tandaan ang paggamit ng seatbelt ay isang epektibong pamamaraan upang manatiling ligtas sa oras na anumang aksidente. Ito po si Alejandro Patusa, payong super lang kaibigan mula sa isang kapwa nyo super.
What do we go for? We go for experience. We go for excitement. We go for sport. We go for style. We go for fun. We go for the new Toyota Wigo.
Be part of the 2020-2021 Autofocus People's Choice Awards, the only nationwide poll to determine the country's most popular car brands and models. It's easy. Log on, then vote for as many as 5 different models that you believe should become the 2020-2021 Autofocus Automobile of the Year in separate standard and premium luxury categories. Vote every day until September 30, 2020. The Autofocus People's Choice Awards. Who will win? You choose, you decide. Vote now.
The Mitsubishi Mirage.
Drive your ambition. Mitsubishi Motors.
Elevate your journey. The new Montero Sport.
Drive your ambition. Mitsubishi Motors.
What do we go for? We go for experience. We go for excitement. We go for sport. We go for style. We go for fun. We go for the new Toyota Wigo.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. Let's now take a look at what's happening in the local auto industry.
Isuzu Pagadian is now open for business. Located at a rising commercial location in Barangay Tiguma in Pagadian City, Isuzu Pagadian serves as a satellite branch of Isuzu Butuan. Isuzu Pagadian showcases the new global Isuzu outlet standardization concept and features a 4-vehicle showroom, 7 service bays, 5 for light commercial vehicles, and 2 for commercial vehicles, a wash bay, a wheel alignment facility, and 5 slots for body repair and paintworks, all in a modern-looking facility boasting a 3,871 square meter floor space. Isuzu said, the latest local dealership to adopt the iOS concept expresses Isuzu's new brand identity, but which still maintain its long-standing reputation for durable and reliable products. The iOS concept will also ensure a more seamless automotive retail experience for both customers and dealership personnel, added Isuzu. The addition of a new Isuzu dealership in our rapidly expanding network is a strong testament to the growing preference for the Isuzu brand as we continue to widen our reach to customers in Region 9. This is another major milestone that we share with our new dealer partner Northmin Automotive Dealership Incorporated, and we look forward to serving our customers in this area with the Isuzu Pagadian, said IPC President Hajime Koso at the Zoom press conference. At the same conference, Isuzu Pagadian General Manager George Onchua said, with the establishment of Isuzu Pagadian that is of world-class standards, we are very confident that the good reputation of the Isuzu brand in the region will be extended to its dealership services. Pagadian is one of the most industrialized and business-savvy cities in Mindanao, and we're very optimistic that people and businesses in this side of the Zamboanga Peninsula will come to us to provide them with Isuzu products and services. Toyota Motor Philippines is celebrating another year of being the country's most preferred automotive brand. The celebration may be muted somewhat amid the COVID-19 pandemic, but it may be one of the most significant celebrations yet. In its 32nd year of doing business in the Philippines, TMP faces the challenge of not only maintaining its status as the #1 seller of vehicles in the country, but also of helping the country's economy overcome the pandemic and keeping thousands of its own team members, as well as those working in its supply chain, employed. In a message to all team members, Alfred T., TMP chairman, said, "In our over 30-year history, we have faced many challenges, but this is by far the most challenging we have seen. Of one thing I am sure, this will be our finest moment. We will draw on our collective strength to support the government in its recovery efforts, and we will assure our customers and each one in our Toyota family that we will stand by each other every step of the way." In perhaps one of the biggest virtual assemblies ever, TMP President Atsuhiro Okamoto said, "Other countries have shown that this virus can be controlled. We will get there too if we continue our adherence to the necessary health protocols. We will win this battle." Toyota has much to celebrate in over 3 decades of operations in the Philippines. 18 consecutive years of Triple Crowns, tops in passenger car, commercial vehicle, and overall sales. The most preferred brand in all but 3 of its 32 years, putting over 1.78 million Toyotas on Philippine roads, assembling over 880,000 vehicles at its plant, providing livelihood to some 55,000 Filipinos across its supply chain. Land Rover has rolled out the new Defender. In a simultaneous launch streamlined to 12 countries in Asia, the new Defender was unveiled in a program hosted by renowned adventurer Roz that traced the history of Land Rover and the Defender as it evolved to meet changing times and new challenges. Massimo Frasella, creative director at Land Rover Design, told the story of how the Defender evolved over time and explained the whys of the totally new, albeit still familiar and unmistakable, look of the Defender for the 21st century. Nick Rogers, Land Rover Product Engineering Executive Director, then extolled the advanced capabilities of the all-terrain vehicle for the digital age, including the ability to interact with people in 20 different languages. The new Defender is looking to conquer the premium all-terrain vehicle markets in the Philippines, Singapore, Indonesia, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Hong Kong, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Brunei, and Mongolia. The Nissan 370Z has finally, make that officially, reached our shores. Nissan Philippines has brought in its iconic two-door, two-seater sports car powered by 3.7-liter V6 engine capable of generating 332 horsepower and 363 Newton-meters of torque to drive the rear wheels. The Nissan 370Z will provide a truly authentic Japanese sports car experience to local car enthusiasts, according to Nissan Philippines President and Managing Director. Nissan is bringing in two variants. One is the 370Z Premium that comes with the bi-xenon HID projector headlamps, LED daytime running lights, 19-inch forged alloy wheels by Rays, dual exhaust outlets, and a sleek rear spoiler. The second is the 370Z Nismo, which comes with Nismo designed kits and performance parts, including, among others, front and rear bumpers, side sills, rear spoiler and door, 19-inch forged alloy wheels by Rays with twin 5-spoke design, and a charcoal gray machine finish. Nismo performance parts bump up horsepower in the 370Z engine up to 344 PS and 371 Nm of torque. The Nissan 370Z Premium will be available in both a 6-speed manual transmission and 7-speed automatic transmission, priced at 2,779,000 pesos and 2,879,000 pesos respectively, and the Nissan 370Z Nismo, priced at 3,888,000 pesos in select dealerships nationwide.
Motoring Today now brings you our Car of the Week on Showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee. Chinese automakers are gaining a substantial threshold in the local automotive market that can no longer be denied. And they are doing this by introducing not cheap but affordable models that match, if not surpass, competitors in interior and exterior features. It also helps that some come in the guise of European brands of good repute, although they have been designed, engineered, and manufactured in China. Take for example the 2020 Maxis T60 4x4 automatic.
Back in 2010, Shanghai Automotive Industry Corporation acquired Leyland DAF Vans, successor company to Leyland Motors, a British maker of reputable cars, buses, and light commercial vehicles. By then, among brands that Leyland carried was Maxis, which was used for a line of vans and light commercial vehicles. SAIC continued the Maxis brand, which has distributorships in Africa, Australia, Europe, Latin America, and New Zealand, among others. In 2016, the Maxis T60 was unveiled, the first pickup manufactured by SAIC for the global market. Today, the Maxis T60 has reached the Philippines, brought in by Maxis Philippines, one of 6 brand partners under AC Industrial's Anayala Company. The Maxis T60 is competing in a crowded local mid-size pickup market. It has a large footprint for the segment at 5,365mm long, 1,900mm wide, and 1,809mm tall, and comes with a 3,155mm wheelbase. The cargo bed can accommodate a 1,020kg payload. It also boasts of an 800mm weighting depth. Large can also describe the design cues of the T60. Oversized grille, upsized fender overhangs that, in some eyes, make the stock OEM 245/65 R17 tires offered in the Philippines seem small, but this can be easily remedied. A peek underneath the T60 reveals a suspension system that uses double wishbones in front and leaf springs in the rear. The Maxis T60 4x4 automatic variant does not lack for the latest in exterior features. LED auto headlights, daytime running lights, front and rear fog lamps, body-colored rearview mirrors with power adjustment, rain-sensing wipers, large stepboard, and bed liner. All T60 variants offered in the country are powered by a 2,776cc Euro 4 compliant diesel engine with variable geometry turbocharger and intercooler capable of generating 150 PS at 3,400 revolutions per minute and 360 Nm of torque at 2,800 RPM. The T60 4x4 automatic comes with 6-speed automatic transmission. All that power and torque provide enough oomph to allow for a 2,500 kg towing capacity despite its 3,050 kg gross vehicle weight. 3 drive modes are available, easily engaged with the controls on center console, Eco, Normal, and Power mode. For even braking, the T60 uses front and rear discs. The T60 also has a large and roomy interior, with the 4x4 variant featuring leather seats. Getting the preferred driving position is easy with 6-way power adjusting seat. The front passenger gets a 4-way manually adjusting seat. Like most top-of-line vehicles, T60 4x4 AT comes standard with the convenience of a keyless entry with push-start system. The dashboard features a well-laid-out instrument panel, largest central vents for the automatic air conditioning system sitting atop the 10-inch touchscreen for the infotainment system that comes with USB and Bluetooth connectivity, Apple CarPlay, and MirrorLink that plays through 6 speakers. Second-row passengers also benefit from rear aircon vents. Also adding a lot to convenience is the steering with multiple controls for the audio system, as well as cruise control, among other things. Safety in the T60 starts with double-layer welding technology for extra strength and durability in the construction of the body. Adding to safety are dual airbags, 3-point seat belts for all passengers, ISOFIX child seat anchors. Active safety features include anti-lock brake system with electronic brake force distribution and electronic stabilization program. Also standard in the T60 are reverse sensors and camera, tire pressure monitoring system, and engine immobilizer.
The Maxis T60 4x4 automatic certainly has all it takes to meet the needs of pickup owners and more. How to catch the eye and convince those looking for pickup to try it, or the more affordable T60 variants, is the challenge. That's our featured vehicle on this week's showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee.
Drive worry-free with Prudential Guarantee's auto insurance program with a free 24-hour nationwide roadside assistance included with your comprehensive auto insurance. Rest assured, we'll take care of you and your car wherever you are. Prudential Guarantee's auto insurance program, 100% worry-free driving.
part of the 2020-2021 Autofocus People's Choice Awards, the only nationwide poll to determine the country's most popular car brands and models. It's easy. Log on, then vote for as many as 5 different models that you believe should become the 2020-2021 Autofocus Automobile of the Year in separate standard and premium luxury categories. Vote every day until September 30, 2020. The Autofocus People's Choice Awards. Who will win? You choose, you decide. Vote now.
Mitsubishi Strada Athlete. Unleash the athlete.
We now have our segment that dwells on the wide array of motoring problems, not only in the metro but all around the country as well. This is where we present problems referred to us or we ourselves see and hope to fully find solutions for. Here's our public service segment brought to you by Honda Cars Philippines.
Barrier for motorcycle back rider. Opposing sides have been debating about this. One side says it's unsafe, the other says it's needed. It is the Interagency Task Force on the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases who issued the mandatory use of a barrier between a motorcycle rider and his or her back rider. They say it's to further prevent the spread of the deadly COVID-19. Authorities in the task force have approved 2 designs for this. However, some riders, especially those who own private motorcycle units, continue to contest this, saying that putting such would be dangerous for them and the pillion rider. On our YouTube channel, Zena Honda commented that authorities should just implement no helmet, no face mask, not same address of residence, no travel policy, stressing that motorists using private cars won't be checked by authorities if social distancing is being practiced, the number of passengers allowed is being followed, or if they live on the same domicile. She also appeals to authorities to just implement existing rules and regulations. What do authorities have to say about this? That we will find out as we try to get their side and reaction to this.
And that's our public service segment from Honda Cars Philippines. And should you yourself encounter motoring problems that need immediate attention, please feel free to contact us. See the details being flashed on your screen. And that's the week that was in motoring. Thank you for joining us. Also, please don't forget to check us out on our social media accounts.
Until next week here on Motoring Today, now on its 34th year of continuing service to the general motoring public with a lifelong commitment to promote road safety. Stay healthy and be vigilant at all times. On behalf of Butch Gamboa, our dad, I'm Ray Louie Gamboa.
And I'm Susie Gamboa. Happy
motoring!
motoring.